Hello, friends and YouTubers. Um, just kind of thought I would do another video. Kind of felt like it, and I have a stack here of some interesting music to share with you. And to start with is Nurse with a Wound. This is a single of theirs called "Cooler to Moon," and if you're not familiar with the band, they do a mixture of tribalistic sounding music and electronic concrete music sounding things. Current 93 is a band that they work with. This is just very trippy, you know. One side of it is so strange that it sounds good both at 33 and 45, if you can imagine that. Joanna Newsom, this is her second album, YS, I think. She works with Van Dyke Parks on this album. Um, this woman's voice can be a little hard to take at first, but the combination of her writing, her harp playing, and her singing, um, it's very singular and kind of grows on you, you know, like it just kind of grows on you. Levitation. This is a band that was put together by Terry Bickers, who was the guitar player in the band House of Love, which is one of my favorite bands, House of Love, from the 90s, late 80s and 90s from England. And this is true to its cover. It's guitar driven, but psychedelic, but in a modern kind of way. I love this. I got it right away, and it came with a limited edition one-sided single, and, and then the other side is etched. Listening to Godspeed You Black Emperor as I show these records here. And the next thing I want to show is an artist that I actually got to tour with, Jennifer O'Connor from New York. Um, really, uh, I think her songwriting is subtle, but pretty brilliant. Singer-songwriter, plays the guitar and accompanies herself, has a band. Maybe there's a bit of a country feel to it, but more of a, maybe I'd say, a comfortable feel, which sometimes sounds kind of country. Jennifer's great. Toured with, did a tour with her with Sun Ambulance. 1 a.m. Radio. This is a one-man band. I'm thinking he's from the Middle East, actually. Um, it's recent. This is probably maybe 2005 or 6. And I bought this actually directly from the artist after I heard him on MySpace. And the songs and the sensitivity of the playing of his music, the mixture of acoustic and electronic, is beautiful. It really is. And I was sold. And like I said, bought it directly from him. Something that I consider, or is considered, a landmark in house and dance music is a guy called Gerald's Voodoo Ray, and that's what this is. Voodoo Ray, the 12-inch single, UK pressing. Mm, don't know anything about a guy called Gerald to speak of, except that we put these tracks together with some, I understand, some fairly primitive stuff, and it's just one of those records that's very influential to dance and modern electronic music. I understand. Well, actually, I agree too. You know, Laibach is a band that I think they're from either Latvia or Bavaria, something like that. But they have this kind of pseudo militaristic approach in their look and even the sound. And but actually, apart from the image, the music comes off rather Wagnerian and large in scope. They've done some notable covers of like the Beatles, and here they do their what they call their version of Macbeth. It's pretty cool. Rova is Rova Saxophone Quartet, which is it Gilbert Artman? I always have to put my glasses on here. Pardon me, folks. Okay, so Gilbert Artman is not with this group anymore. I think there's a connection. Gilbert Artman, the French jazz musician, but largely a group of saxophonists. This is some pretty wild stuff. Here they're doing compositions by Fred Frith and Henry Kaiser, two great guitarists. Just thought I'd throw this in there. I don't know how many people are Todd Rundgren fans, but I'm a big Todd Rundgren fan. This is his first solo album runs. And I just want to call attention to Todd Rundgren. If you're not familiar with him, he has hits, but you can't judge him by that. He is so prolific and has done so much good music. You know, he did I Saw the Light and Can We Still Be Friends and Bang the Drum All Day. But he has some great music. Check him out if you don't know him. I've been asked if I like electronic beat music. I love electronic music, and I do like modern beat music, intelligent dance music. Mouse on Mars from Germany is a band that I like and follow to a degree. I find this group of musicians to be highly creative, and this album, I believe it's a funny name, Nagung. I can't say it. This is pretty nice, though. They're very creative. Another band that gets raved about, but deservedly so. I love this band, and when I first discovered them in the 90s, actually it was the end of the 80s, My Bloody Valentine. This is an original on Creation Records, yeah. The way that Kevin Shields and the band stretch sound was indeed groundbreaking, and I got to see them live. Thankfully, recently, they got back together and started touring again, and it was mind-blowing. The wall of sound thing went on for almost a half an hour. It was fantastic. Tim Buckley, he's someone that's raved about critically, but once you hear him, you understand. There's definitely, it's all for a reason. It's quite unfortunate the man died so young. Quite a voice, quite a writer, quite a presence, quite intense. British band from this is about 1988, the Brilliant Corners. I associate them with the kind of the indie scene, where the bands, it's like, you could tell they hadn't been playing that long, but somehow they were just writing these great songs and just putting it together really well. Brilliant Corners, somebody up there likes me. This is a really fantastic British pop, independent pop album. I'm a huge fan of Julian Cope and follow much what he does. And one of his side projects is this band called Brain Donor. And this is fairly recent. Drained Boner is the name of the album. And it's not quite Boris, but it's in that area of sludge, stoned, heavy, crazy music. And this is a cool picture disc. I quite enjoy Julian Cope's music, as well as his expertise on England and the relics of the Druids and the pagans over there. He's written a couple of books. Black Tape for a Blue Girl. Um, an early album by this band that's considered to be sort of goth, but it's just really kind of moody blue music. Early release on the Project label. I sold most of my punk. Kind of wish I hadn't, but one of the things I held on to was this album by this Dutch band that I actually played with, not with, but my band RAF, punk band. We opened up for them in concert, did a show with them. BGK, they were just great. And as you can see, they signed my record. The show was just awesome. This is on the Dead Kennedys label, Alternative Tentacles. And this is just a really great punk rock album. I'm always have always been interested in the fact that there's all the lists of must-have and classic records, and yet all the records that could be on there that aren't, and that BGK is one. Just got missed. I love metal music. I like progressive metal. This is something that might be considered math metal. It's a band called Behold the Arctopus. Associated with the band is Rhythmia. This is some intense playing. It's a one-sided white vinyl release with an etched, as you see, one side. And the music is excellent and very, very complex. Maybe some listeners might even think it's just complex just to be clever. Maybe that's the case, but I find it highly stimulating and wonderful listening, and I recommend it. Behold the Arctopus. Some other electronic music that I like. A recent band, Autechre. For some reason, I kind of think of them in the same mind as Aphex Twin, but this is some kind of glitchy type of electronic stuff. Very good. An acclaimed album from last year that I agree with the claim of is Beach House, Teen Dream. I got to see Victoria Legrand in the band live, and they pulled it off live. They were really good. The sound is really big live, and the songs are creamy. The last thing I want to show is a classic album. Actually, it's two of their albums in one. Neu! Krautrock, you are familiar with the term, I'm sure, by now. It's one of those bands where their albums are considered to be holy grails, and the first Neu! I agree. It's just it starts off real sneaky, and the next thing you know, you're hypnotized. I want to again just say how much fun it is to be doing this, sharing this music with all of you folks. I want to give a shout out to Dan from Canada, right quick as I think of it, and Mr. Fartboy79, and because on my last video I wanted to try to think of their names and I couldn't, and I try to. No, I don't try to. I really do watch everyone's videos because it's fun. This is really fun. Leave comments, and more to come soon, including the second part of my discography.